Okay, I'm live. I haven't been live in so long, Lord. Let's see if anybody shows up. If anybody is out there, let me know if you guys can hear me or if I need to plug up my microphone. We should be good though. Little impromptu live. We haven't done a live to talk about this season of Married at First Sight at all. So I figured, let's try our luck tonight. Oh, here comes some people. If you guys can hear me, let me know. If you guys can hear me or if I need to plug up my microphone. I don't forgot how to use the StreamYard. All right, hold on. Oh, here we go. Had to get to the comment screen. Hey, y'all. Hey, Jay, not Ezekiel. Well, I hope you feel. Wait, what is Ezekiel? That's just to go to sleep, right? That's not because you're like sick, right? I'm super bad with medicine. If I don't have to take it, I don't. Hey, Miss Bell. I haven't done a live in so long, y'all. I feel like I don't have enough anything to talk about to go live. Nothing. Hey, Christine, first time catching a live. Pressure's on, can't disappoint. Hey, Christian. Hulu was tripping. Okay, so I can't expect any tussling from you in the comments because you like to tussle in the comments. You my number one tussler when it comes to the comments. Ezekiel is just for sleep. Now, what time zone are you in that you get ready to go to sleep at 7? Because I'm central. I should say that. I'm central. So I'm going to sleep at 7. Or it's 7 o'clock here, I should say. So what's going on, everybody? I figured we could talk about this season of Married at First Sight. Y'all know I stopped reviewing Housewives mainly because I travel for work and I was traveling on a Sunday. So because I was traveling on a Sunday, I was either coming home or going to my location. And by me being the only on my team, it's going to look bad if I stay in my hotel room and just watch TV. So, do I watch VPR? What is that? Oh, Vanderpump Rules. I don't. I've never started Vanderpump Rules. I don't even know what it's about. It's like it's a restaurant, right? Or is it no, it's a hair salon. Vanderpump Rules is a hair salon, right? I don't watch it. I know it's a lot of drama going on right now. A lot of drama going on right now with them. Bravo, just in general, was in shambles last week. Oh, you're in Huntsville. Oh, you be seeing the Huntsville people? You watch Love and Marriage Huntsville? They be out and about. That's getting ready to start. That mess is coming back already. It's like they on the Tyler Perry schedule the way that just went off. Oh, you gotta be at work at 6. Okay. Okay. Hey, Phil. Hey, Cynthia. Oh, it is a restaurant. I was right. Okay. What's the one that was the hair salon? That was a show, right? Vanderpump sound like it would be a hair salon. Sounds like it would be a hair salon. So how are you guys feeling about Married at First Sight? Or do you guys want to talk Housewives? Or do you guys want to start with a Q&A? Whichever. I've never seen it. I like sometimes I'll start watching the show if like my Twitter timeline, like that's all they're talking about. I'll start watching the show, but there's not enough people tweeting about it to like justify me wanting to start watching it. Hey Kim, haven't seen you, or Kimberly. I don't like to give people nicknames. I'm very well. How are you? Wait, they had a promo like a trailer. I saw the picture. I feel like how Huntsville shouldn't have come back. I really hope there is an overhaul with that cast. I know the main six, the comeback group is coming back, but we don't need Destiny, we don't need Tiffany, we don't need Miss Wanda, we don't need oh, we just don't. We just don't. MAFS is boring this season, but I continue to watch. It is. It's very dry this season, right? I feel like it's super dry this season, more so than usual. I can't explain why, but it's super dry this season. Aries is an immature, grown ass man. Boy, let's talk about it. Yeah, he's. I saw some people, and was it my comment section or somebody else's, that was saying that we owe his cousin an apology. And I just don't agree with that. What are we apologizing to Felina for? Two things can be right at the same time. She was very correct that he shouldn't, no, he's not ready for marriage, but he's still childish. Still childish. Oh, thank you. I agree. Huntsville is done. When Mel and Martell got divorced, that was it for me. Oh no, that was like season 1, wasn't it? Weren't they divorced by like season 2? The matches ain't matching. Here's the thing. Y'all know I don't always necessarily think that they aren't good matches. I think a lot of it is people's personality and people's egos. That's a lot of what I think it is. I think a lot like Gina and Clint, I think are very nicely matched. I think they're a good match. I think it's just people's egos. Oh, you done tapped out. I don't blame you. I don't even blame you. Aries is a complete fool. Yeah, I mean, there's something to be said when you think that somebody being faithful, not kissing someone of the same sex, not having an orgy is living a boring life. It's a little concerning. A little concerning. I'm 38, and for Aries to be a year older than me, it is wild what he thinks is boring. It's wild. It can stay where it is. I do not like that show anymore. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Bell Collective, in theory, was good the first season, but I feel like after that, it just wasn't. I don't know. Something about Bell Collective just don't work for me. Carlos King needs to be really more worried about his shows than trying to police Potomac. He really needs to be he really needs to be more worried about his shows than Potomac. The experts need to be changed. Now, y'all know the experts don't really pick the people right. Like, I feel like people scream that every season. Y'all know the experts are not truly the ones matching these people. It's production. Production is matching the people. It's not the experts. Because as you can see, the experts are barely on the show. It's production that's doing that. It's production, and it's all for entertainment. Everything is for ratings. It's all for, it's not, it's not the experts, quote unquote, that are matching these couples up. Which is why when they show up, they always go back to, well, your questionnaire, because they didn't really put these people together based off of like watching them and interacting with them and that type of stuff. That's not how that works. It's very off-putting. I used to like Carlos, but I feel like the way that he's like low-key obsessed with Potomac, and not even being obsessed with it, but he's so like heavily dedicated to pointing out the bad parts of Potomac that it's annoying. It's annoying. Let's just talk Potomac. What did you guys think about this season? Because we can wrap Potomac up really quick. What did y'all think about Housewives of Potomac this season? Did y'all watch it? I watched every episode. I have a very, 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 very unpopular opinion when it comes to Potomac. But I did watch the whole season. You think Potomac had comedy this season? Oh. What was funny, Phil? What did you think was funny? Miss Bell said it sucked. I do not watch Life After Lockup. I wanted to. I started to like jump in. I feel like last season, but I feel like each season it's not like all new people. It's like the same people coming over. Robyn needs to go. Why? I'm curious. So many people are saying that Robyn needs to go. Why should Robyn go? Why should Robyn be demoted? Did you watch the season? How do you not remember? It just ended last week. I feel like that's all people have talked about this entire, like, I feel like Potomac is all people have talked about for like the past month. That Karen John is the best thing ever, because I don't know why Bravo had to be that shady. I don't know why Bravo had to do that picture. That shit was hilarious to me. That was hilarious. You don't hate Mia. She doesn't lie any more than anyone else. So I'm gonna have to disagree. Mia lies more, but I think Mia lies about just stupid stuff in general. Mia lies about stupid, petty stuff in general. And I think that's why people focus so much on her lying. They all lie, but Mia lies so much about, like, Mia will come on there and say, Mia will come on there and say that, no, I definitely wore pink yesterday, knowing damn well she wore blue. Like, she does that type of lying, and it's like, what are you lying about it for? She doesn't share her life. So this is where this is where my unpopular opinion comes in. Why should Robyn come to this show that started filming in March, I believe, and say Juan cheated on me months ago? Why? Because the average person because the average person is not going to say, oh, just so y'all know, the guy that I've been dating, that the fans call my roommate, that y'all swear don't like me, that y'all swear that's never gonna marry me, that y'all swear everything about, yeah, he cheated on me 4 months ago when we weren't filming. Why do people think she would come on and say that? That's what I don't get. Why would she come on and say that? Robyn is Robyn is boring. I give y'all that. Robyn is boring. Robyn is boring. The fans are the issue, not the women. The fans are completely the issue. The fans are completely the issue. The fans, the YouTubers, the blogs, the podcasters, those are the issues. Those are the issues. It's all of those entities that hyped up the colorism story. All of those are what drummed up the colorism story. I only watched the reunion episodes, and Potomac was messy. It was. A lot of it could have been nipped in the bud. A lot of it could have been nipped in the bud had it been handled correctly initially. Robyn's story is complete. If that's the case, Candace's story is complete too, because we saw Candace get married on the show. We saw Candace get married on the show. We saw Candace freeze her eggs, do the IVF, or do the egg retrieval. We know that she has her embryos. If that's the case, Candace's story is wrapped up too. I think the difference with that is that Atlanta just stopped filming like literally a week before, or like 1 or 2 weeks before the stuff with her and Ralph. So it's easy for them to turn the cameras back on because the season hasn't aired yet. Like, so it's easier in this case. I don't know. I think I was the only person in the world that did not care that Robyn didn't come on and start screaming from the rafters that Juan had this situation with this other woman. I think she's a fool for thinking that he didn't sleep with her. I think she is a fool for thinking that all he did is go and pay for that woman's room. But I personally, I don't see why Robyn would come on and say that. I certainly wouldn't. Y'all think if Chris cheated on Candace would come run to the show and say, yeah, Chris cheated on me 3 months ago? Do y'all think Wendy, if Eddie cheated on her, do y'all think Wendy would come run to the show and say right away that Eddie cheated on her? No. So I don't know why people are expecting Robyn to do that. The real issue is people just don't like Robyn and Giselle. So they are held to a higher standard of what people think they should be showcasing and putting onto the show. Exactly. There are some YouTubers that if Robyn would have said Juan cheated on her, we would have heard about it forever. We would have heard about it forever. We would have heard about it forever. For her and her family and the peace of mind what's going on, she should be demoted. If it's for her and her family and her peace of mind, she should have the ability to step away on her own accord. I don't know. Maybe it's me, but I just don't feel like Robyn should be demoted because she got cheated on during the off season, and she didn't run to talk about it on the show. Demote her because she's boring, but don't demote her because she didn't do that. Why did she talk about it on her podcast? Because it's her podcast. It's her podcast. I mean, if she wants to, I mean, the timing definitely was very suspect. It didn't look the greatest, but I don't think that means she should be demoted or fired the way. Like, there are some fans ready to go, like, put her head on the stake, y'all. Like, if we were back in the olden times and we could stone people still, Robyn would be lined up against that wall with a firing squad, like ready for people to stone her. People don't like the grenade bandits, and that is the real colorism. People want to act like reverse colorism doesn't exist. It does. There are nuances to colorism. And if there is any colorism or nuances of colorism or prejudice or discrimination or hatred or misplaced anger, it is definitely towards Robyn and Giselle. No matter what people want to admit, I have heard them be called white women. I have heard people call them light bright. They have been called everything but black women. Everything but black women. Not a fan of Robyn, but I don't think she owes the fans anything. I don't think she owes fans anything. Okay. I think the colorism is reversed because I remember back in school, everybody was hating on the light-skinned girls with the good hair, and they had done nothing to anyone. So Giselle is awful, right? We know that she is an awful, awful woman. Do I think that she's like that off the show? I don't. I think that Giselle shows up and she clocks in to play a role on this show. I think Giselle knows what it means to be a housewife on a reality show, and she is digging into being the villain. There's a reason that Giselle's not on Twitter. There's a reason that Giselle doesn't respond to comments. There's a reason you don't see Giselle doing interviews and all this other stuff. She completely disconnects, probably because she knows that she is doing the absolute most on this show. But there are some people that are so disrespectful towards him. Candace was winning at the reunion. Candace was winning. She read Giselle down. And then she ended it by attacking her skin color, trying to wrap it up in a bow as colorism, as if Giselle is not still a black woman. Nobody in this world, aside from probably me and 5 other people, felt that Giselle was right to say that she was uncomfortable. Nobody believed Giselle. Nobody believed that Chris did anything to her. Nobody believed anything of the sort when it came to the Giselle and Chris situation. So for Candace to go the one step too far, which she did, she went one step too far and talk about her skin tone. She ruined it herself. Candace is more than a little vicious with her reads. She's downright disrespectful and disgusting with it. And what kills me is all the people that say that Candace reads down and all this other stuff. All she does is attack people's looks. That's literally all she does. Candace's best and most popular reads are her attacking people's looks. They absolutely were, but people question theirs, so what's the difference? I just feel like people question theirs, so what is the difference? When you have people saying that Robyn is a whole white lady because she did her ancestry and she has this in her and that in her, as if we couldn't already tell because she's light skinned. People attack her, people attack theirs all the time. In that same breath, Katie said that Giselle was white, didn't she? I don't think she's awful. You don't hear about anybody outside of that cast coming forward and saying that she's a terrible person. And this is a woman who is the first lady of a church. She went to an HBCU. She's in a sorority. So she has been around a lot of people. She has a lot of associates. You don't hear anybody saying how awful of a person she is. You just don't. Because if Giselle was truly a disgusting and awful person, off of camera, there would have been stories out by now. There would have been people doing interviews. You know, back when I was at the church, this, that, and the other, I feel like there would have been stuff that came up. I think Giselle clocks in and plays a role. Is it time to fall back from being the villain? Yeah, probably. But if she's comfortable being the villain, somebody has to do it. Giselle was uncomfortable. The issue, in my opinion, was Giselle made it seem like he did something instead of she felt something. Absolutely. I have always said if Giselle said she was uncomfortable, then damn it, she was uncomfortable. It doesn't mean that somebody had to do something to you, but Giselle took it too far with the whole he was a sneaky link and all this other stuff. But honestly and truly, this all could have been wrapped up if when Giselle told Candace, if Candace would have handled it more appropriately and more maturely in that moment. This all could have been avoided. Giselle told Candace. Candace didn't like that she told her on camera, as she shouldn't. But again, y'all scream reality show, so let's talk about it on reality. But if Candace would have handled it a different way from jump, this could have been squashed and cleaned up with the bow by like episode 4. The next episode could have been a sit down with Candace, Robyn, Giselle, and Chris at lunch with the cameras there so we can see exactly how the conversation is going, and it could have been wrapped up by season 4. But Candace and Chris used that as their storyline too, and nobody wants to admit that. That was definitely a part of Candace's storyline. Hell, Chris thinks he's a member of the cast now. Chris is doing interviews saying our show. It could have been wrapped up. It could have been wrapped up a long time ago. It shouldn't have lasted the entire season. That's what made the season drag on. That's what took away from the season, is the fact that that was the main thing. Never like Katie, she made an issue to state she was biracial continuously, even though she was hired because she presents as Black. Every person on that cast looks Black. Every single woman on that cast, no matter of their skin tone, looks like a Black woman. Every single woman on that cast looks Black. Not one of them looks passing. Not one. You look at Giselle, you see a Black woman. You look at Robyn, you see a Black woman. Ashley, Karen, they all look Black. Katie is unhinged. Y'all be seeing her Twitter? Katie is going through some things, trying to get back on the show. They're not bringing you back, sis. This ain't it. This is not what you need. You need to go get some help and focus on your sobriety journey. Yeah, I think Giselle is just messy on TV. I don't think that she's an awful person. If she was such an awful person, like I said, we would just hear more about it. I think Giselle was going to hold on to it, but Ashley came through. I think she was too. Who knows why the hell Ashley did what she did? Who knows why Ashley did that? We need to hear from Topaz's mama, Jamal's ex. I need to tea on that alleged church parking lot fight. That'd never come out. I don't even know what you're talking about, but I don't think that'd ever come out. I think if people truly had dirt on Giselle, it would come out by now. And I think that if Candace does come back for next season, if she has some dirt on Giselle, I think she will put that out next season. I don't see Candace coming back. Not because she won't get asked back, but how do you continue with the show? You have a problem with 3 of the ladies on the show. She's not really friends with Wendy. You can tell that. She can't film every scene with Karen. They're going to have to do something. Some type of cash shakeup needs to happen. Unless Candace is going to bring in one of her friends. I don't know. It's easy to hate Giselle because she is the villain, like people hated Kenya because she was a villain. Exactly. But there are some people that just do not like Giselle and Robyn just because they don't like them. They just don't. I have seen some people let Karen skate on a lot of stuff and say, oh, well, I just don't like Giselle, so that's why I say that. I just don't like Robyn, that's why I say that. The same way that people say that they don't like everybody on the cast. I don't like Wendy. I think Wendy is too good for the show. I think Wendy has absolutely no place on the show. No part of Wendy should be on that show. She's too good for it. Way too good for the show. On top of the fact that Wendy is the most boring person on the cast. The most exciting part of Wendy this season was her having was the fight. Hell, every time they see Wendy, they ask her if she's drinking water. I don't want to talk about somebody's water intake. Not in adults. I just don't. You know what? I don't follow Ashley on TikTok. I don't want to. I can't dance. I don't have rhythm. So, I don't judge it. But let's be real. People think that Giselle and Robyn are the villains of the show. It's really Ashley's ass. Because every time there's a situation, almost every big situation, every big blow up, Ashley is in the middle of it. I think the only one that actually wasn't was, I think, the whole when they were going after Karen and Ray because of their taxes. Everything else, Ashley has been in the middle of it. I mean, Giselle is like the scapegoat because people never come after Ashley the way that they come after Giselle and Robyn. No cash shakeup, discuss the issue and move forward like adults. I mean, it's Housewives. Throw some drinks on each other and call it a day. Candace essentially wants to do, oh, really? I mean, I can find out. I went to high school with Candace's manager. And I know he probably side-eyeing me because I be going in on her on Twitter. Big N. I need to go see if he's still following me. I be going in on her. But it might be time for Candace to move on too. And I say that, one, I don't like Candace, but that's not why I think it's time for her to move on. If you're trying to focus on your music career, this show is not going to help it. This is not the show to help you. If you're trying to focus on being an actress the way that Candace is, I think she's like in a movie or something now, right? This is just not it. But Chris is going to be Candace's downfall. One, because he's become Gossip Girl. Chris is doing way too much talking. Chris thinks that he is a cast member. Chris wants a damn champagne flute. The husband should never be this involved. And I understand that he was a subject of conversation, but it's because his wife allowed it to carry on. Yes, Ashley is the villain of the show. She just is. I don't think there was colorism on the show. If people think there was, people think there was. I think the whole the colorism conversation during the reunion should have had a moderator. Because Candace said in one breath that she did not think anybody on that cast is colorist. She didn't think that colorism played a part in that group, only for her to then turn around 20 minutes later, TV time, and attack Giselle's skin color. There should have been a moderator. But I also feel like colorism is just a buzzword now, too. I think people yell colorism now just to be yelling it. And it's taking the stigma out of the word. It's taking the importance and the weight out of the word when you're yelling it. I guess now Letitia is saying that there's colorism on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Where? You are just an awful lady. That's why we don't like you. It has nothing to do with the color of Letitia's skin. She is just horrible. Melody is just a horrible lady. It has nothing to do with their skin color. They are both just manipulative and bad people. That's it. If somebody were to say they don't like watching me, I'm not going to assume it's because I'm brown skinned. And I think that's what people are doing now. They're turning everything into colorism. And then when colorism does really start to happen and it does really pop up, it's going to be like the boy that cried wolf because y'all have screamed it from the rafters for everything. I don't think Basketball Wives had colorism either. OG caused a lot of issues herself. It was her personality. Sometimes it is just really the person's personality. I love Tisha, but the colorism is not on the show. It's the fans of the show again. Well, nobody has a worse fan base than Love and Marriage Huntsville. Nobody has a worse fan base than that show. That fan base is so trash. I'm almost happy that my Love and Marriage Huntsville videos don't get a lot of views. Because y'all know I tussle in the comments with y'all. Just ridiculous. Oh, Tisha gets on my nerves. Tisha is the epitome of beautiful gowns. Beautiful gowns. Because that's all she has to offer. She's a pretty lady. She, for the most part, she always looks very well put together, but her attitude is something. And it's really just jealousy and insecurities seeping out of Tisha. Y'all done talking about Housewives of Potomac? We can move on from it. Terrible show. Terrible season. Hopefully next season is better. Hopefully next season doesn't have as much back and forth. Because again, it's the fans that get everything hyped up. It's YouTubers that get everything hyped up and get all this stuff thrown into the atmosphere. So let's talk MAFS. Hold on. Miss Bell, ain't she driving now? Don't you be texting and driving in the rain. I can't stand Mel. She has drastically changed for the worse, in my opinion. They are just the epitome, everybody on that show, they have a fan base now. And there are some people that when they get a fan base, it's like it changes something inside of you. That's the average person. There are YouTubers that get like that. There are podcasters. There are local celebrities. Some people, once they start getting attention, they get a little bit of fame. It awakens something inside of them. The fans used the same words Giselle used when it was Candace versus Monique, then called it colorism. They called Candace versus Monique colorism? Really? Candace told that girl to beat her up. Drag me, Monique, drag me. And she did. You would have thought Candace would have learned her lesson then from running her mouth, and she hasn't. It's going to take one more person to get Candace before she learns. And it's not going to be Giselle's old ass because she's too old to fight. MAFS is boring, but I still watch. It is boring. Honestly and truly, what I think the issue is with Married at First Sight is we have had some explosive people the past couple seasons. So we had Michaela and Zach, Hurricane K. Zach was explosive, very inflammatory. We had, what's her name? Lindsay. Lindsay was very loud. Elijah was very vocal. We've had a lot of very polarizing people. This season, everybody is very subdued. Everyone's very subdued. So it's making for a boring season. Clint and Gina seem to be taking a turn that might work, but probably not. I don't think they're going to work. Y'all remember at the preview, Clint is kissing Dominique at the end of the season. So when it was Candace, they used the same statements as Giselle. Then when Giselle used the words against women, they call it colorism. Everything is colorism. Everything's colorism nowadays. Everything is colorism. Chris and Paige. And what really happened is Chris was so explosive, all that stuff that happened, that Married at First Sight got an influx of new fans, right? An influx of people because the show had a bunch of drama on it. So all these people came in and started watching the show. So then they felt like, okay, we got to keep this going. So they started casting people with these larger than life personalities that they knew were going to be polarizing and jarring to the fans for the ratings. Because look at how they do every episode. This episode this Wednesday, with nothing explosive about it, but yet they kept calling it this explosive episode. There was literally nothing explosive about it. Nothing. Nothing was explosive about it. Atlanta and Houston broke MAFS. Shoot, I'm gonna say New Orleans because Karen was a villain in her own right, and what's his name, Brent, that was married to the nurse. The crazy black dude from DC was the start of the end. Who was that? Was that Taylor and Brandon? You talking about Brandon? The DC season really started the mess and it was all downhill from there. That was Brandon and Taylor, right? Nicole made an issue out of nothing. She's thick and what she's pretty is attracted to her. So what's the issue? See, y'all can't say that. If she's insecure and she don't want to be called thick because that's a trigger for her, then it's a trigger for her. I don't think it's a nothing statement. I think people need to stop talking about other people's bodies on this show. There was absolutely no need for Chris to say she's thicker than I'm used to, but it's okay. It's clearly not okay, and that's why you brought it up. If I was her, I would be mad too, because it's unnecessary to say. Unnecessary to say. DC was the worst season. DC, hey Joy, DC had Michael, right? Yoga Michael, was that DC? I almost want to go back and watch that season to recap it. Because I feel like that's back when the episodes were like just an hour, right? Hour and a half. I almost want to go back and recap that season because Michael had me so thrown every episode. Ooh, Jesus. Lion Yoga Michael. Yes. I will never forget watching that season. And they went to that yoga studio. And not only did we find out that he was not a yoga teacher, but that he didn't work there, but that he was a janitor and they hadn't even I don't know what I would have done if I was her. She better than me. Better than me. Yes, Brandon and Taylor. And it was both of them. It was both Brandon and Taylor. It wasn't just one or the other. It was both of them that were a mess. I absolutely hated the San Diego season. They did my city dirty. That was last season, right? With Stasha and them, was that San Diego? No. Yeah, that was San Diego, right? That season, they wouldn't have been bad. No, you know what? That's with Justin and that wasn't I'm a Good Person, right? Seasons are all running together at this point. Hey B. So okay, so let's talk. Let's start with Clint and Gina. What do you guys think about Clint and Gina? Do we see sparks with them? Do you think they're turning a new leaf? Who's really I think the problem is definitely Gina. I didn't like Clint at first, but I think Clint's coming around. Clint is definitely coming around. I feel like Clint signed up for this show definitely with the right intentions. I think he came onto the show honestly and truly trying to find somebody. I think Gina came on the show to promote her salon. Hands down. Gina came on this show to promote her salon. They did. They had a decent episode. They're the only people that had fun. Everybody else was in shambles. They had fun this episode though. They went to the bull riding situation. They went down on Broadway, which is, Nashville's little strip. They had fun. But I get friendship vibes from them. I feel like they just gonna be besties. like I feel like he'll start going to her to get his haircut. They might meet to go have a drink, but I don't see any like romantic chemistry with the two of them. I was expecting to hate Clint too because he gave me Mitch vibes, but he's clean, and he's normal. But he was giving me Mitch. Yeah. Yeah. She's focused on her job. And I feel like if you're that focused on your salon, then this is not. But I feel like a lot of them shouldn't have signed up for this show. Shaquille shouldn't have signed up either. Shaquille shouldn't have signed up either. I want Clint and Gina to work, but if they move past the attraction issue, maybe if Clint can wear Gina down, they can make it. Gina's never coming back. Never coming back to Clint after Clint told her, which is after Clint told everybody, he likes more athletic people. That's what that is. Hey, Monique. He likes more athletic women. That was it. She's done. Big done energy on her behalf. Gina said, I'm going to get this check no matter what. That's what she's giving me, and I enjoyed them. I mean, hey, go on and make the most out of it. Make the most out of it. I think the important part is for you to not be a complete and utter ass to your partner. That's the thing. If y'all are not going to make it, if y'all really don't like each other, it happens. That's human nature. That's life. But you can't be rude. You can't be an ass. You just can't. Mitch was jaded and cynical. Mitch was very cynical. Ooh, he was filthy. Y'all know how I felt about that dirty ass house. Mitch was filthy. That was the real issue. It had really nothing to do with his personality. It's the filth that got me. The constant filth. Gina wanted an urban cowboy and Clint wanted a pageant queen. I don't even think Clint wanted a pageant queen. I think if Gina would have never called him, if Gina would have never said that she don't typically date gingers, he would have never said anything back about her. That was pure retaliation. It wasn't because he like truly, didn't like her, because I think Clint does like her. It was more of a, okay, you said something about me, so I'm going to get you back. I'm going to get you back, and I'm going to get you back even worse. I'm going to get you back even worse. Anything else on Clint and Gina? I mean, y'all said it best. Things like this entire season is everybody's boring. All right, let's move on to Shaquille and Kirsten. He's sick of her. I think that he's uninterested in her now. I don't think he's feeling her. I think from the moment on the honeymoon when she couldn't answer what she actually liked about him, he's been done. And I don't blame him. I don't blame him. Good riddance. I wish the experts or whoever does the matching listens when it comes to looks, because nowadays people can't seem to get past it. Yeah. But I also feel like if looks are that important to you, then you shouldn't be signing up for the show. Point blank, period. You shouldn't be signing up for the show. Looks are very important to me. I would never go on a show like Love is Blind or Married at First Sight where you cannot see that person first. I would never, ever. But I do think that what they should do is have them bring pictures of celebrities that they are attracted to. So then that way they can say, okay, you like a Boris Kojo type of guy, we're gonna go for that type of look. You like a Morris Chestnut type of guy, we're gonna go for that type of vibe for you. You know what I mean? Like, but they giving people the complete opposite that they want. Kirsten didn't want a bald man, and they gave her a bald man. But it makes you wonder, did she say that on the questionnaire? Because she never got past his bald head. She never got past it. Ever. Ever, 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 ever. Oh, Kirsten is the epitome of beautiful gowns. Yes, beautiful gowns. She has no personality. And I don't know if she's doing that because she don't like him or if she is just that bland of a person. But it makes me wonder, how are you a realtor? You have to have personality to be a realtor. You have to have a little bit of zhuzh about yourself to sell houses. So it really makes me wonder, how do you sell houses? How does this work? Why come on the show if you can't let down your guard and fall in love? It's so many of them that can't. It is crazy. It is so many of them that can't, but I'm tired of hearing I have to take it slow. I have to take it slow. I have to, it's hard for me to do that. You don't have to be giving Nicole Ari Parker if your type is Boris Kojo. Because Nicole Ari Parker is not fine to everybody, and neither is Boris Kojo. That's what people got to get past too. Look at Jay-Z and Beyonce. He's given Camel, and he still got who y'all are considering the baddest in the world. So Janet Jackson was dating Jermaine Dupri. So it doesn't really matter. Cole has a realtor personality. Kirsten doesn't. Yes. Cole is very personable. I feel like he's probably selling them houses. I don't like Cole, but Cole is probably really selling those houses. Hey, Monique, you think she's lying about her profession? Don't they double check your, well, I think since Michael, they double check the professions, no? I feel like she has a representative on for the camera. She can't be that bland. Her friends seem cool. I think she's in defense mode because she don't like him. So I think she has just allowed herself to completely shut down. Which is it's not fair to Shaquille. Exactly. Excuse me. Get a gauge on what they like. It's true. I think some of the contestants lie. Aries must have lied because why would someone like him make the show? I want to see a lie detector. Oh, people are definitely lying about what they want. People are definitely lying about what they want. She might be a realtor, but I don't know. Maybe she's more comfortable showing a house than she is having to be in this type of situation. I don't know. But that plant scene where they were arguing over that plant, if y'all don't pick a fucking plant and go, if I was her, I'd have been walked out. Because did we come to pick out a plant together, or did you come to show me what type of plant you want? I got so sick of that. Like, get a bush, get a cactus. Y'all don't need to be buying anything because y'all not gonna be married in a couple weeks anyway, so it don't matter. That scene had me so irritated, y'all. I have never watched a scene on this show and been more upset. more upset. I have never been more upset. Maybe he changed his mind when it became evident his cousin wants him. I don't know. I don't want to see Felina no more. Don't bring Felina to the reunion. Don't bring Felina to anything else. Don't show that heifer no more. No more. I believe Aries was recruited. I heard he was recruited. Or was it somebody else? I think he was recruited for the show. It was just a terrible scene. I think that scene is just indicative of how they really, really act. I think it was. I think that it's just like that is just truly them, and it shows that they don't get along. Hey. Get an alloy plant because they was burning me up trying to figure out what plant's about. It was just an annoying scene. I like this plant. I don't like this plant. That one's scary. How the fuck is a plant scary? She was scared of a snake plant. Like, I couldn't do it. I almost muted my TV. Then at the end, they both agree on the type of plant. She wants a plant that has the bigger leaves. He was like, this one so we can watch the leaves grow. Y'all got 5 more weeks. It was just the worst scene I've ever seen on the show. Oh, Felina's going to be there with her ill-fitting ass shirt. She is going to be there front and center, them same tired braids, looking stank in the face. Because I think the idea was for them to get one together, but I feel like by the end of the scene, just get 2 or just leave. Just leave. Don't get nothing. Just leave. I feel like they don't get as many applications as we probably think. I feel like I don't think they get as many applications as we probably think. Well, McKinley wasn't recruited. McKinley has been chasing the show trying to get on. So McKinley moved to San Diego because he wanted to be on that season. When he didn't get picked, he moved to Nashville. So it sucks for him. You've been doing all this to get on the show, and then you get matched with a child. It didn't work out. But Shaquille and we know they're not going to work. Okay, they're not going to work. I told y'all my brother works with him at Tennessee State University. He has already left and gotten a new job. I don't know if that means that he moved out of state or whatever, but he ain't at the school no more. So a little bit of a shakeup. I did see her cry on the after party. I didn't understand what we were crying for. Like, I feel like the thing is with Kirsten, I feel like she doesn't know how to articulate herself. She doesn't know how to express herself, and she gets frustrated and she shuts down. But I think she also has to understand how frustrating that is for other people. So for Shaquille, for you to say to him after he was very vulnerable with you, for you to say it's a lot you don't know about me, then to turn around and say, well, there's really not that much to me. What? What? Like, I think she just, I don't know, maybe she needs to go to therapy so she can learn how to dig deep and like truly express herself. I don't know. I feel like Kirsten is phony. She's playing house. The way she acted at the housewarming, acting like she like Shaq, knowing she can't even give him a pay. I think she does like him. Me and my brother talk about the show every Thursday. And I think she does like him. And I've been saying that since the beginning. but I think she doesn't want to like him. I think that she does like him, but she's kind of keeping it to herself because she doesn't want to admit it. Because if she didn't like him, they wouldn't always be so close. She wouldn't always be leaning on him. And like she's affectionate physically, from what we can see at least. It doesn't look like she's ever uncomfortable when she's doing it. When Kirsten is laying on him or they're dressed together, whatever, it doesn't look forced. I think she does like him and she just does not know. She doesn't want to. So it's coming out conflicted. Shaq is checked out, and I think we will hear him tell it like it is after they break up. Well, he already said on one of the after parties that she's only nice to him when the cameras are on. So does my brother like him or not know him well enough to say? He said that he's very cool in real life. Very, very cool. They worked an event together with the students, and he said he's a super cool guy. He said he has a mean shoe game too. So Kirsten doesn't want to be the Black Alyssa. No one should want to be the Black Alyssa. Alyssa is probably the worst person that has ever been on this show. The worst person that has ever been on the show. I want to make actually want to make a video with Married at First Sight villains. Like, we know that Chris is on there, obviously, stuff like that. But I think Alyssa takes the cake because she treated him like shit. Pure, like she was disgusted with Chris and he did nothing to her. Nothing to her at all. Right. She can't get past his looks. Honestly, if Shaq had a little bit of hair, I think she would be down with it. I think that because he's bald, I think that because she is bald, she just can't get past it. She can't. Are the beds small? I think they have. I want to think that they're queen size beds, but I think they have them small purposely so that they have to be close together. So it's not a full, because some of these people are tall. I think that they're queen size beds as opposed to getting them like a king size or like a California king, where somebody can be, leaning on off the edge and the other person on the other side. They're trying to force these people to be together. Anything else on Shaquille and Kirsten? We know they're not going to make it, right? Oh, thank you, Valerie. Like the video, please, guys. I always forget. Like the video. It helps us smaller YouTubers with the algorithm. Y'all know we're chasing 10,000. So we're on the rise. We're on the rise. So let's move over to Nicole and Chris. How do y'all feel about Nicole and Chris? Do we like them? I don't. I don't like Nicole and I don't like Chris individually. So put together, it's annoying. Why haven't we seen her dog at that apartment? I feel like Kirsten has a personality, but because she doesn't like Shaq, she doesn't want to show it. I'm telling you, she likes him, but she doesn't want to give too much of herself to him. It's like, it's weird. It's weird, but it's something with Kirsten. I don't trust her. Her dad did take the dog, but they're supposed to be switching out the dogs. When is it going to be switched out? Because we're on what day? Where were they on day 19? We're almost at 3 weeks. Your dog ain't been there yet? Hey, Rasta. I think Chris is a manipulator. Absolutely. Chris is definitely manipulative. The way that he cried so that both his dogs can come and be there with him. The way that man wept so that his dogs could come, Chris is definitely manipulating her. Look at that conversation just when he was telling her that he called her thick. Everything about that was manipulative. I don't think for one second that Chris has body issues. I don't think that Chris has body dysmorphia at all. I think Chris is very comfortable within his own skin and within his body. But if I tell you that I'm uncomfortable with my body, then it's going to be easier for you to receive it if I tell you that I might, have said something about yours, and then maybe that'll get you to say something about yours so I can point out what I really don't like about you. Not for one second do I think that Chris honestly has body issues. No. No, ma'am. They're not going to switch dogs. We're going to get to the reunion. And Nicole's dog would never set foot or paw, into that apartment. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen at all. Chris did not have to mention the thick thing at all. Because in the confessional, what do you think of your wife? Nice. What did he say? She has nice. Where are my notes? I wrote it down because I was so baffled. Hold on, y'all. Let me pull it up on my iPad. Here we go. Chris said, beautiful smile, beautiful face, beautiful eyes. She's thicker than I'm used to, but that's okay. It's not okay if you say it. It's not okay if you say it. I had a date with a guy. He is shorter than me. My biggest thing was, it was cool, but he's short. But that's okay. It's not okay because he's short. You know what I mean? If you don't have a problem with something, you're not going to mention it. You're not going to mention it. She talks too much and she's definitely in love with him. But it's so childish to say, I want him to say, I love you first. I mean, thank you that you do. There are people that disagree with me every single week, and make sure to let me know. I find it ridiculous that Chris had the nerve to tell Nicole he doesn't typically go for thicker women, and he hasn't been intimate with a woman in a while, according to the season opener, because he's looking for a particular type of woman. He's too set in his ways. He's looking for a particular type of woman. Chris's dad said he needs BDE. Maybe I didn't see the preview. I don't think. I think. Well, you know what? As soon as the episode goes off, I set up everything to start recording. Her dog is gonna make a late appearance like Maya. Maya came back and was like, "Y'all thought I was gone? Okay." I don't understand why the women are so upset about them saying what their normal type is. Kimber, are you a man or a woman? I'm just curious. Chris is trying to convince himself that he's okay with Nicole being thick. He is. Let's be real. Black women, we don't mind somebody calling us thick. White women do. White women do. They don't want to be called thick. They just don't. If somebody does not want to be called thick, they don't want to be called thick. So if somebody that you're dating all of a sudden tells you, I typically don't date your body type, I like the other body type, that's not going to offend you at least a little bit? It would offend me. It would offend me. I'm tall. I am 5'10". I have had men say, I don't date women as tall as you. I typically don't date women as tall as you because blah, blah, blah. To me, that's offensive. It's offensive. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I also feel if people are offended, then people are offended. I don't question why people are offended by something. I don't question why people get upset if somebody mentions something like in regards to their physical attributes. Chris definitely said it in a judgmental way. If for you to say beautiful smile, beautiful face, and beautiful eyes, I mean, she's thicker than what I'm used to, but I guess that's okay. Chris said it in an offensive way because if Chris didn't think it was offensive, he wouldn't have felt the need to apologize for it right away. It is. Not all, but a lot of them do not want to be called thick. They don't. I just feel like if somebody says that it is offensive for you to talk about this or whatever, then it just is. It's culture. My mother-in-law is Asian and she'd be offended if someone called her thick. Meanwhile, I take it as a compliment. Yes. So if she's offended, she's offended. I don't think Chris likes Nicole. He's going to come unglued soon. I think because Nicole is a lot. She's smothering him. I think it's because she's smothering him. I think it was way worse what Gina said about gingers. They both were offensive. I didn't think that calling somebody was a ginger was offensive, personally. I didn't know that that was offensive. But I mean, the way that Chris said it is the same way that Gina said it too. Gina said, I don't typically date gingers. That's not who I typically go for. Chris said, you're thicker than what I typically go for. They both said the same thing. He saw how she acted to Clint's comment, and it's been weighing him down since. But I think he said it after Chris's, right? Because that confessional was on the honeymoon. I don't know. I think that confessional was on the honeymoon. Thank you, Valerie. Please thumbs up the video, everyone. Y'all are better than me with this. This is why I don't go live, because I forget to say everything. It seems Gina gets a pass for her comment. I don't think anybody's gotten a pass. I think everybody needs to stop talking about everybody else's body. Kirsten shouldn't have said anything about Shaq being bald. Gina shouldn't have mentioned about being a ginger. Clint shouldn't have mentioned about slender and athletic. What else do we have going on? Aries shouldn't have mentioned that Jasmine is not his body type. Like, everybody needs to just, when did it become okay to tell somebody straight up to their face, I don't like you because you are this, that, and the other, and I don't date people like that? It's rude. It's rude all the way around. I don't think she said it in, this is just me though, I don't think she said it in a rude way. I don't. She said, I don't typically date ginger people. And to me, it's just as rude as him saying, I don't think, or excuse me, it's no different than Chris saying, I don't date, she's thicker than what I date. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. They all said it, to be honest, they all said it in the same tone. Everybody kind of said it the same way. It's not offensive she called him a ginger. Clint was offended because she wasn't calling him attractive. He said he said that being called ginger is offensive. I never knew it was. I have never called somebody a ginger either. So if Nicole says it's okay if you don't like it, again, I'm gonna scream. She's so irritating. I couldn't take Nicole. She's so irritating. Ginger features is offensive, not ginger. I never knew it was offensive. I promise y'all, I've heard people say that before. And I would have never known that it was offensive until Clint said it. I think Clint said it because he was offended by what Gina said. Absolutely. It was definitely a you hurt me, so I'm gonna hurt you back, and I'm gonna do it even worse because I'm gonna do it in front of everybody type of situation. Absolutely. And from that moment, their relationship has not gone the same way. It hasn't. Seems like no one got the physical attributes they were looking for in their partner this season. They won't shut up about it. That's true. But here's the thing. I wonder, did they put that down? You know what I mean? So do y'all think that Gina put on there, I don't want to date a redhead? I don't want to date a ginger. Like, do y'all think that she specifically said that? Do y'all think Kirsten said, I don't want a bald man? Do you think Aries said, I want a girl that got a fat ass? You know what I mean? Like, some of the stuff that they're saying is just not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal for you to harp on, because if you're not attracted, what are ginger features? It's when you're like, when you have reddish, copperish color, like hair, or like a lot of redhead people, sometimes they have freckles. Those are ginger features. When you have the reddish copper, you know, you know, when I dye my bundles, like sometimes it's those type of features. Oh, thank you, Monique. Boom. Is it me, or is Pastor Kyle getting annoyed with these people? He's been annoyed. Well, he's annoyed with Dominique because she wouldn't just say what she wanted. He's been annoyed. Been annoyed. Do I think the ginger thing is similar to light skin, dark skin thing in the Black community? No, I don't think that's colorism. Mm-mm. I don't personally. This season is the theme of telling people why they're not attractive. Yes, and it's unfortunate, because if you are not feeling somebody because of that, you can tell somebody, I'm just not attracted to you, without being rude and pointing out their features to them. There is a way to do that. And these people just lack tact and decorum. That's what that is. Nobody has couth anymore. The way Gina said it made me think she was referring specifically to people of Irish descent, to be honest. He's not, I don't think Clinton's Irish though, is he? Like I said, I didn't take it as a huge thing when she said it. Like, I honestly didn't think anything of it. But that's also because I didn't know that it was offensive. So y'all keep saying that. I don't think that her dog is can I say ginger? I don't think that her dog is that color. Her dog looks brown to me. Maybe I'm colorblind, but Gina's dog Hank looks like a regular brown dog to me. He just does. Anything else on Nicole and Chris? No? Let's talk. I feel like every time I say no, a message pops up. Let me wait. Boom. I don't think Gina was trying to be offensive either, which is why she felt so comfortable telling him that in his family and friends before the honeymoon. That's what I think it is. I don't think Gina knew that it was offensive. I don't, because she said it so casually. She said it so comfortably. I don't think she was trying to be offensive. Hell, to be honest, I didn't even know that Clint was considered a redhead, because his hair looks brown to me. Again, I could be colorblind, y'all. You know, maybe I'm just not the best with colors, but he doesn't look like a ginger to me. So growing up, the church that I went to, our pianist for the choir, he was a redheaded man. And he was like, I'm talking stark red. Like he was red, red. And when I think of somebody talking about like a ginger person, that's who I would think about. Is I picture him. So I wonder if anybody else besides Chris and Nicole are gonna go to Pound Town. Honestly, I think Gina and Clint might just for like a drunken night, but nobody else. No, ma'am. No, no, no. Clint looks brown to me. It's like that's why I said maybe I just have a misunderstanding. But he looks brown to me. I don't know, maybe I gotta see it in the right light. Do you think Chris will have a problem with Nicole's size, physique in the end? He has a problem with it now because he mentioned it. If he didn't have a problem with her size, he wouldn't have mentioned it. He wouldn't have mentioned it. I stand very firmly on that. If he didn't have a problem with it, he wouldn't have mentioned it. Last thing I'll say is I think it's unfair that women can say what they want about the physical type of men, but men can't do the same. I don't think women should do that either, though. I know Nicole said that, but I think she meant she can say whatever she wants about her own body. I don't think women should be able to say whatever they want to men. And it's not that men can't say what they want about a physical type, it's the way that men say it to women in a disgusting manner. It all comes down to it's not what you say, but how you say it. Again, I'll use myself as an example. Being tall, there are men that do not want to date a tall woman, mainly because some of these men are short nowadays. So I have had men not want to talk to me because we might be the same height, right? I'm not offended by that, but it is definitely how you say it. I've been told, damn, you taller than a bitch. That's rude. But I've also been told, man, we can't date. We're going to be the same height. You put on heels, you're going to be taller than me. It's all in how you say stuff. And I think the way that Clint said it was rude. The way that Chris said it was rude because they were trying to be hurtful. I just don't think Gina was trying to be hurtful. I think Kirsten was being hurtful the way that she was saying, I don't want no bald man. He's bald. He's bald. Like it comes down to how you say it. No, she don't. She's not built. She's just big. She's just very like big. She's not like built, like a bodybuilder. I think that Gina said that her and Clint did have sex on the after party. She hasn't. She said that they haven't kissed since the honeymoon. Right. But you know what? I will say the first time somebody said that to me, I died laughing. I died laughing. Because there's nothing I can do about it. I'm tall. There is nothing I can do about it. I don't know why I'm tall. My mom is 5'4". My dad is 6 feet. My brother is 6'4". I don't know. I'm just tall. I can't do anything about it. I'm not offended by it. You know what I mean? But it comes down to how you say things to people. It really comes down to how you say things to people. Clint said it maliciously. Chris said it not maliciously, but Chris was definitely saying it with like an air of disgust about it. I don't think Gina meant hers in that way. I just don't. Anything else on Nicole and Chris? Because they ain't gonna make it. I don't think they're gonna make it. I think they're gonna get to decision day. Nicole is gonna say yes, and Chris is gonna say no. All right, let's do Jasmine and oh wait. The way that Clint and Gina high-fived after the rodeo was kind of awkward to me. Yeah, they just gonna be friends. I think they're just gonna end up being friends. She might end up just being like his hairstylist. That's it. I don't think anyone is gonna make it for real, for real. No. This is just a bad, and it's not because these people aren't matched nicely or good enough. A lot of it is people getting in their own way. I have always felt that about Married at First Sight. A lot of these people are just stuck in their own way. Kirsten is a prime example. You can't get past the fact that this man is bald. You're stuck in your own way. Chris is going to have a hang up with the fact that she's thicker than what he usually dates. Aries can't get over the fact that she don't have a Serena Williams Meg Thee Stallion booty. Like, it's people getting in their own way. That's the real issue with a lot of the people on Married at First Sight. Remember, Karen couldn't get past the fact that Miles was too nice of a guy. So let's talk Jasmine and Aries. We know they're not going to work, right? We can all agree on that. We can all agree Jasmine and Aries are not going to work. So, you know what? I take that back. I think Chris was prompted to say what he liked by the producer. They asked him if Nicole looked like women he's used to dating. He probably said no. Then probably. It's amazing how y'all will like try to make excuses for these people. We saw the clip. It didn't even look edited. He literally said, beautiful smile, face, and eyes, but she is thicker than I'm used to, but that's okay. He wasn't prodded or prompted in any way. He said it. Like you mentioned in your review, the way Aries was sitting across from her is never really too close to her, is telling. And the only time I've ever seen him really touch was when Pastor Cal was there. He don't like her. He don't like her. Aries is emotionally stunted. I think Aries' first turnoff was the fact that she said she had them dogs. Because in his mind, he equated those dogs to being nasty, right? So that was number one. He equated her having all those dogs to being nasty. I know people don't want to admit it. People think it's rude. Aries is looking at her bottom row of teeth and he's turned off from it. And that's not to be rude. It's not to put her down, as people were saying in the comments, but it is a very real fact. You can look at Jasmine as she is talking. She's missing a side tooth, for one. Whichever side it was, she's missing a side tooth. Her bottom row of teeth, it is a mess. It is a mess. It doesn't make her a bad person, right? It doesn't take anything away from her. She still has all of the beauty crowns and the pageants and the awards and all that stuff, but she absolutely still has an issue with her bottom row of teeth. Yeah, they are asked questions in the confessional, but they're not telling him, okay, so her body type what too? Y'all be really trying to get these people more than they worth. Y'all gotta admit, like her bottom row of teeth, though, her bottom row of teeth is turning him off. Then isn't he like a pescatarian, or is he vegetarian? He has an issue with all the damn bacon she eats. She can't even eat bacon without him clocking how many strips he eats every day. It's ridiculous. I wonder what it is with Jasmine and Aries, because of Aries, a real dog, he gonna hit, but she is putting it out there, he's gonna bomb. I don't know. The way that he keeps saying that he's like such a sexual person, they should have been slept together by now. What man is sleeping in the bed with you for 19 days and y'all ain't did nothing at all? Nothing. Nothing. Aries is working his way to become a part of the most disappointing husbands on MAFS. I think he's still respectful of her, though. He's not rude to her. That's his saving grace. He's not rude to her. He's not talking down to her. He doesn't like ignore her. He's respectful to her because he could be a Chris. He could be a Zach. He could be a white Zach. Remember that was dating that was married to the ice skater? Aries has a lot of growing and maturing to do before he gets into any relationship. He don't want no relationship. He want to have orgies. He is too old for that. He is just way, way, way too old. He's still hung up on what happened when he was 28. 11 years, and you still mad because you sort of, somewhat, maybe caught feelings for somebody and she broke up with you, and now it's just damn it all to hell. That's silly. He's like emotionally stunted. Free Jasmine. Jasmine better not say yes on decision day. Y'all know how history goes. The way history has shown us what Married at First Sight is. She's gonna say yes and one, either get her face cracked, or two, he's gonna say yes to kind of prove a point to people, and then they'll quietly divorce like Miles and Karen. I wouldn't drink out the same cup as Aries. He definitely got something. He has something. She eats pork. That could be an issue. My theory is Aries isn't attracted, but does see that she's a good person. So he's trying to repulse her to the max. So she says no on decision day. I agree with that. He's trying to push her away. I'm sorry, but at their age, at 39 and I'm 38, I don't want to play Never Have I Ever. I don't want to play Never Have I Ever when we could be having a real conversation to really get to know something about each other. I don't want to play Never Have I Ever, and it's all stupid ass sex questions like that. The last time I played Never Have I Ever, I was like 23, and we were on like a retreat. I wouldn't date a man with teeth like that. I'm like Shaq when it comes to the mouth. Nobody wants to date somebody whose teeth look like that. Unless you have bad oral hygiene yourself. Her teeth are bad. There's no way around it. Like I said, on top of missing the side tooth, which as a people, I don't understand how you can be missing the side tooth and just be okay with it. But on top of that, her bottom row of teeth is bad. He could be teeth are a turn off to people. There is something with her that he is just completely not attracted to her at all. And because he's somewhat of a gentleman, like I said, he's respectful to her, he's not saying it. Also, her height. Jasmine's the only wife who didn't get carried over the threshold. Is she tall? Or is Aries short? I didn't think she was that tall. I'm guessing Aries won't sleep with her because he thinks she'll catch feelings and it's not worth the headache for him. That could be true too. That can be true. Jasmine has a great figure that a lot of people strive for. Once her teeth are done, you can't tell her nothing. She need to hop to with him. Hop to. There's no way she's been in all those pageants and nobody told her to get that fixed. So somebody put in my comments that she might be wearing flippers over her bottom row of teeth so that when she does do pageantry, she can just put those on. But I feel like if you're going to do all that, you should just go and get your teeth fixed. Granted, I didn't pay for my braces. I had them as a teenager. But you can get Invisalign. We see all these Smile Direct commercials. Instagram knows that they're trying to peddle it. There are ways that you can get your teeth fixed affordably. I want to know what the mutual friend he had sex with a couple weeks ago looks like. They need to bring her on the reunion. But at the same time, she can't be mad about that because they didn't know. They didn't know. Is Nashville that small? I think the experts should talk with family and friends before they match people, because at this point, I think people just put on heavy representatives just to meet someone and not taking it serious enough. These people just want to be on TV. These people just want to be on TV. That bottom row ain't the best, but that body is still banging. Aries is insecure about his bedroom skills. Or Aries is lying about his bedroom skills. Because my brother thinks he's lying about all his sexual escapades. My brother swears that Aries is lying about the orgies and all this other type of stuff. He could be just trying to put on. Aries needs a mentor. Maybe Shaq has space for one more. Shaq don't have room for no more mentors. Shaq's mentors were squeezed on that couch, and they all couldn't even fit. Shaq, he's busy. Kirsten wants him home at night. He can't take no more people. Maybe that's a part of the reason he doesn't maintain eye contact, because he doesn't want to look at her teeth. I said that too. I've always been a person that I look people in the eye though, so I don't have to look at anything else on your face. But there are some people that are just drawn to your mouth right away too. Aries ain't been in no orgy. Back in the day, he and his friend had sex with two girls in the same room, which I think is gay. I just do. Whenever it's off balance like that, at some point, everybody's mouth is touching everybody else's parts. Like, He got a heartbreak, and his coping method is orgies and cheating, and the fact that he cheats should have prodded Jasmine to ask why you cheat or do that. Well, he called her boyfriend for not cheating. So, Never Have I Ever is done after college years. Absolutely. I wish I would play Never Have I Ever right now. What? What? Absolutely not. I would be so disgusted and irritated if somebody said, hey, you want to play Never Have I Ever? Nigga, no. Why do you want to play it? That's the real thing. Never Have I Ever and Truth or Dare are weird at these big grown ages. They are. Talk like adults and have normal conversations. I don't want to play Truth or Dare either. You know why? Because we're grown. I'm not doing nothing that a dare entails. I'm not going to eat ketchup. I'm not going to take a shot of soy sauce. I'm not going to run out on the balcony and start twerking, all the stupid stuff that you do when you play Truth or Dare because you're a kid. I have heard of people with dental issues that say it's hereditary and they had to get dentures or other work later in life. So maybe it's just not as easy for her. I don't know, but I understand why you wouldn't like them. Yeah, I mean, dental stuff is definitely hereditary, but that does not mean that you can't get your teeth fixed. Every single one of my cousins has had braces. We have literally all had braces. You can get braces. You can, even if you can't get them as a child, you can get braces as an adult. That's why we work and we have our own insurance now. There are ways that you can get your teeth fixed, hereditary or not. Lying, capping for no reason. Missing the side tooth is devastating because you about to shell out some money for that implant. Because you got to get an implant. You can lose a molar and won't nobody know. But a side tooth, you have to get it fixed. You have to get it fixed. I agree with your brother. He is capping. I swear, my brother swears Aries is not doing none of the stuff that he's saying he does. He can't. It's not possible. No way would I have not asked Aries if he had kissed a guy that they not cut that part out. Because if Aries is participating in orgies, that mouth has definitely kissed another man. I'm sorry, but when I think of an orgy, everybody is kissing and sucking and licking and everything else on everybody else. That's what an orgy is. That's what an orgy is. An orgy is not you just focusing solely on the opposite sex. I don't think that's how an orgy works. Oh, here we go. The one person I knew who was in the orgy life was very open about it. That's how they get people to come to the orgies. It just seems so nasty to me. With all the diseases and STDs that we have going around, like the fact that people are still doing orgies in today, in 2023, when you can get the clap and the snap and everything else and the stuff you can't get rid of, Lord have mercy. Trains are so childish too. Trains are I feel like trains are stupid. It's an orgy at that point. It's definitely an orgy at that point. I feel like Aries talks to Jasmine like she is a piece of meat and it's so cringe. Even the hottest in the universe can't pull off Aries' dialogue. Aries is full of it and his sexual history. Hey, Mermaid Theory. Yeah, I don't know. The way that he talks about stuff is just, it's not believable. It's just not believable. I know people, it's very low key. What's low key? The orgy world? I feel like I know people that have done them before, but they would never admit it. Like, I can definitely look at some of my friends and be like, I know you done been to orgy before. But I would never ask them because I don't want to know. And I feel it's not something that you just say to people. I don't ever want somebody to tell me, you know, I was in an orgy last night. Because one, why? And why are you telling me? Why are you telling anybody? Why? It's wild to me and that person is no longer here. Oh, they don't pass. Well, that just got dark. The way this is Aries' way of getting some after the show is over. All this I'm a sexual person talk. But I mean, but you can't follow it up and say that you don't had orgies either, because that's a turnoff. That means you just willing to do it with anybody. Just no regard. No regard. I wonder why Jasmine didn't just cut the Never Have I Ever short and get straight to saying, I want to talk about deeper topics. Don't just let Aries do what he wants. Maybe he refuses. Because I think Jasmine wants to like stay on his good side. And I think she's scared of like standing up for herself. She said on the after party that she's not very confrontational. And like the same thing Kirsten said, and Gina had to let them know being communicative is not the same as being confrontational. You can be very communicative and not be a confrontational person. I know, because people are nasty. The swinger scene. I just y'all got anything else for Jasmine and Aries? Oops. Anything else for Jasmine and Aries? Because they're not gonna make it. We know that. I think they might sleep together before the season is over, but that's about it. I think if Aries wanted to, she would let him. Absolutely. She's already put the precedent in his head that she wants her man to, rip her clothes off. She's already put that out there. So now he knows. Anyone else thought it was weird Felina was encouraging Aries to consummate his marriage, knowing damn well he's not attracted to Jasmine. She just wants to see that girl hurt. I believe that too. It was weird that she was like, go be a husband and have sex with your wife. I don't think that's all there is to being a husband. I mean, I've never been married before, but I'm sure it's a little bit more. Just a little bit more. I'm sick of seeing her. I don't want to see Felina the rest of the season, like at all. People who have been in orgies are burners that go to Burning Man. Oh, well, there you have it. And then I guess we can talk about Dominique and McKinley. So y'all see I did see the preview that McKinley has been sliding in Gina's DMs. No. That is not what should be happening whatsoever. So, but remember when Clint first started talking about whatever issue he had with Gina to the guys, McKinley was the first one that was like, I think your wife is sexy. And everybody was like, that's not what you should be doing right now. So I'm not surprised, but it's also, if that is happening, Married at First Sight, why are y'all even airing it? Why are y'all filming it? Why are y'all entertaining it? This show is not going to last because it's going from messy to trashy. I think Felina was giving Aries a dare saying, well, go home and have sex with your wife. Dom was too young to be on the show. She's not ready for marriage. They should never let somebody come on the show that has not signed themselves up. If her mom signed her up, then it should have been she has to sign herself up. 24 is after, was she 25? Absolutely too young to, one, be married, and to, two, have been on that show. Do you think Mac ever had real attraction for Dom, or was her attitude throughout the marriage kind of just put him off? I think her attitude was off-putting to him. I am very on her side about him living in that basement. Very, very much on her side. I am. Because if you can't commit to getting a place, why do you want to commit to a marriage? I was very on her side with that. But outside of that, everything else that she did, she was rude. I think people that complain a lot don't realize that you're complaining about somebody complaining is still complaining. It's still just as annoying. It's still just as off-putting. And in some cases, it's even worse. I don't know if he ever even had a chance to like her, because I feel like she complained about stuff from the moment that they met. Disappointing of McKinley to slide into Gina's DMs that ruined any good image some people may have had about him. And some of y'all were caping for him in my comments. So I can't wait to that episode. It's definitely not going to last. The season has me ready to check out. Yeah, it's not giving what I thought. I'm telling y'all, going over to Love is Blind. That starts March 24th. I'll be doing recaps, obviously, on that. Y'all should go over there. Love is Blind is a way better concept of a show. Same creators, but it's just a better concept. They're not getting married right away, for one. These people are living together and then deciding if they want to get married. I thought Bo dating Zach was weird. When she got played, I laughed. Everything about that was a mess. Everything about the Michaela, Bao, and Zach situation was horrendous. Completely horrendous. Making a mockery of marriage at this point. It is. It is. I mean, yeah. Dom was hot with Pastor Cal when he was telling her about herself. I think it's because we saw her interaction with her mom. She's used to being able to say whatever she wants to say and get away with it. Nobody has checked her ass in. That's the real issue with her. She sat up there and lied right to her mama's face. They're going to Chicago next season, and it's right by Michigan. He may be on the hopper right across the pond. You know what? That's his fault for chasing this show. You know what I mean? I feel like if he wouldn't have made, if he wouldn't have got picked in Nashville, he probably would have auditioned for Chicago too. He definitely would have. Diamond Mac should have never been matched, period. Neither one of them should have been on the show. She's too young, and he's there to be on TV. He has zero passion about wanting to be married. Yeah, he just, I don't know. On top of the fact that he was a liar. I don't know why they would match a 25-year-old with a 34-year-old. Whether she considers herself an old soul or not, you don't give her somebody 9 years her senior. They had nothing in common. Absolutely nothing in common. He's just weird. The whole show makes a mockery of marriage, the entire concept. What about the process could really bring improvement besides giving them their absolute yays and nays about physicality and lifestyle, while not completely taking on the love is blind concept? So in order the show they have to get married right away because it's called Married at First Sight. So they have to get married. I still think that they should let these people put down pictures of celebrities that they find attractive. Stop trying to give people what you think they need, and give these people what they want. If they're asking for a tall, bald man, give them a tall, bald man. That's really all you have to do. But a big part of this, and I stand on this, is not so much the matches. A lot of times it is their personalities and their egos that get in the way. Karen and Miles are a big example, always my number one example. But from this season, Clint and Gina, it is their egos. She's wrapped up in work. He doesn't understand that. So they're clashing. Otherwise, they're a good match for each other. I like Love is Blind because at least they get a feel for each other before meeting. The pod segment is my favorite part of the show. That's why Love is Blind is good. They're matching, they're talking behind these walls, they're conversing about anything and everything aside from how that person looks. Once they finally meet, they still have the chance to get engaged or not. You can still absolutely meet somebody and decide it's not for you after first look. You go back to the pods, you still have a chance to break up and not want to be with that person before they go on the trip. You come home before they move in, you still have a chance to break up with that person. You have every opportunity to get all the way to before you get to the altar. Nobody on Love is Blind should ever get married and then they're divorced a couple months later. But we still see it happen because you have had nothing but time, opportunity, and space to find out about this person and see if they're truly right for you. It's just a better show. Love is Blind is just a better show. They need to have weekly counseling. I think if they had a weekly counseling session with Dr. Pepper or with Pastor Cal, I think this will go a lot smoother. But the experts are like nowhere to be found anymore. Don't the experts look at pictures of their exes before matching the couples? I don't think so. I don't watch the matchmaking special though, so I don't know. I think the experts in production needs to be talking to exes. They needs to be talking to family members and friends to find out if this person is truly ready to get married before just throwing them off. Because then you have people that miss out on the experience, like Chris from last season, or like McKinley from this season. So you have people that miss out on these opportunities, which is not fair, but it's a gamble. Even if they give them the person that looks good to them, they will not make it. Marriage is a lot of work, and many are not able to make the sacrifice that marriage takes. Oh, yeah, we know that. But it would still be one less thing for them to complain about. So many of them are hung up on looks and looks only, and they can't get past it. Imagine Kirsten talking in one of those pods. She wouldn't say anything. I think she would. Kirsten don't like Shaq because he bald. I think if Shaq had any other hairstyle, I think that she would have more personality. I do. Thanks, Miss Bell, for the super sticker. I think if he had any other hairstyle, she would do more talking. But maybe a show like Love is Blind is best for Kirsten. It takes all the pressure off. You are literally talking behind the wall. They can't see you. You can't see them unless you're somebody that hates your voice. If you hate your own voice, then you have an issue. But I don't know. Love is Blind has awful people too. Love is Blind has awful people too. So in previous seasons, there were complaints about too much experts. Then in the last couple seasons, there wasn't enough interaction from them. But Dr. Viv leaving seems like a major blow to the show lately. Who people were saying that the experts were on there too much? Really? I found your channel after the ultimatum. Did you like the concept? I did recaps on the ultimatum. So I think it's a terrible concept. I think it's a terrible, terrible concept. The show was entertaining, but what got me is that everybody on the show was in their early 20s. So it's all these 22, 23, 24-year-olds that are giving their boyfriends and their girlfriends ultimatums to marry them. And to push that person to get to that point, you're dating other people. It's just as stupid a concept as put a ring on it that comes on OWN. Put a ring on it, you're trying to get your partner to propose. You're trying to get your partner to commit to a long-term relationship. So in order to push that person there, you go on a date with other people. It doesn't make sense. But the ultimatum is coming back. I think it's coming back this summer, and it's going to be a LGBTQ season, if I'm not mistaken, because there are some people from Milwaukee on there. It's a couple from Milwaukee on there. I enjoyed the live and okay, well, good night, Miss Bell. Oh, I stopped doing Ready to Love. I haven't watched Ready to Love in so long. I don't know. I want them to go to a different city. Put a ring on it is crazy. That is truly like the worst concept for a show I have ever seen. I watched the first season. I did recaps on there. Then to find out that they were like lying about, like, every reality TV is on its way out, to be real. It's on its way out because everything is so overproduced and overly scripted at this point. I find it odd that Kirsten has a job as a realtor where she talks but can't scrape up enough words to talk to her husband. That was a rough scene to watch, boy. I was just as frustrated as Shaq. I felt his anger because I got mad when she said, there's so much you don't know about me, then to turn around 5 minutes later and say, there's really nothing to say. What? Miami is so par. Yeah, I didn't care for the people that were on this second half of the season. I watched like the first two episodes and I haven't watched it. I haven't watched it since. Do you think Kirsten was uncomfortable with meeting his mentees? It's slightly weird. We never see people his age like his own friends. Okay, so I had such an issue with that because I get that those kids are a big part of your life. And like I told y'all, my brother works with him. He said that those kids are truly with him all the time, like that, as his mentors. But there's no reason for her to have met them kids. There's just no reason. There's no reason for them kids to be at their house and to be a part of this process. Absolutely no reason. Shaquille got some friends his age. We've seen them. We've seen them. That was stupid. That was stupid. I love put a ring on it that doctor does a better job at matchmaking than MAFS. Well, you know, Dr. Nicole is not on this upcoming season. She left the show. After last season and all the issues that happened last season with all that mess with Kenny and Shorty, she left the show. There's a new therapist this season. I did. And I'm sorry, but maybe I'm not empathetic. Maybe Rudy is just, swole up in her pregnancy and her hormones. But I didn't cry with her. I didn't feel bad for her. I feel like she's putting on the act. I feel like she's putting on the act. I agree. And that boy saying, "Who did your hair?" I was right. I hollered. I could not believe he asked her, "Who did your hair?" Why? Why do you care who did her hair? It's not hers. Then for her to say, "I didn't," well, I curled it myself, you know damn well that is not your hair. We know it's not your hair because the entire honeymoon you needed to go like this. You needed to go like this. Do you think Shaq is going to be frustrated the rest of the season about with her not really opening up every single episode? I totally disagree. If the kids are a big part of his life, why not share that with his new wife? In under different circumstances, yes, introduce her. But while they are going through this show and through this process, and you know your wife don't like you, there was no need to bring them kids on this TV show. Absolutely not. There was just no need to bring the kids on the show. That is a scene that did not have to be filmed. It didn't. She said it's hard for her to open up, but like she didn't even really say anything about it. Was just weird. Then Jasmine was crying. I was Gina sent to the side, like, because what are y'all crying for? Kirsten can't articulate herself well enough. That's all it is. She can't articulate herself. She gets frustrated and then she cries about it. I agree. It's weird to have your students at your home. Do you think Shaq was honest about the job offer? I think he was lying or it happened before the taping of the show. I don't think it's weird to have your mentees at your house, but I just don't think that they needed to be on the show. I don't think it needed to be on the show. Because these are 18 and 19-year-olds. They can't ask you any hard-hitting questions about marriage. They asked her, "Who did your hair?" One of them asked, "So you're 30 and you're 31." Like, you're asking about their ages. They didn't ask anything pertinent. They didn't get to any like real conversation. It pointless. Pointless. Yes, Brittany, unnecessary. It was just an unnecessary scene. That was a scene that was better off with Shaquille and Kirsten actually sitting and talking because they never do that. I don't know which scene was worse, the damn plant scene or the scene with the mentees at his house. I've encountered people who take those long periods of time to open up, kind of how Marital was a couple seasons ago, but that's all the more reason not to do the show or to just be super open about. Is that it? Oh, okay. I think Marital was open for the most part. Marital didn't want to kiss Gil, but Marital didn't shy away from a conversation either, though. That's the one thing. A lot of y'all didn't like Marital, but she didn't shy away from a conversation. She just said, we're not going to kiss yet until she felt it. But Marital had no business on the show either. And neither did Gil's broke ass. What do we know about Kirsten? What are her hobbies? She gives nothing and has the nerve to be upset Shaq isn't home enough. She don't care that man ain't home. She don't care. She don't care. That's just something for her to say to make her look better on the show. Because if Shaq thought that she wanted him to be home, he would be. If he truly believed that she wanted to spend time with him, Shaquille would be at home. Kirsten is saying that just to be saying it. Just to be saying it. But I'm sick of people too, and this whole what's after the millennials? Whatever is after us, how everything is about, oh, I have to put myself first and my mental health, and I got to hang out with my friends and all this other stuff. You're married. You wanted to be married. You signed up to be on this show to be married. So no, you don't get to hang out with your friends all day and go hang out at the gym and do all these damn self-care days. Carry your ass to the house. Like, Shaq's excuses were stupid. I have to make sure I'm happy first. And if I'm not happy, and but she's happy, and then I'm miserable, and I want to go to the gym, and I want to go by my friends. Are you hanging out with your friends every day? Because no adult does that. No adult does that. I go weeks without seeing my friends. No adult hangs out with their friends every single day, especially not one that's in a relationship, especially not one that is married and living with a spouse, living with a partner. It's stupid. Just say y'all don't like each other and be done with it. Stop like making all these stupid excuses about everything. Them kids being there was inappropriate. It's inappropriate. On top of that, it opened up these kids to so much ridicule. I had somebody in my comments call them kids down low. How are they down low? They could be very open with their sexuality for all we know. There was no reason to bring these kids and put them on this show to be ridiculed unnecessarily. Unnecessarily. How long ago was Kirsten's 4-year relationship? Is she not healed from it? I don't know. Does anybody know? Uh-oh. Now she comes off like a virgin. You think she's giving Taylor vibes from DC? That wasn't DC. No, Iris. You think she's giving Iris vibes? Maybe Shaq should have just let her give him the relaxation date and then ask questions about what something would relax her so she could open up a little bit more. Yeah, I wonder if they should have just relaxed. But no, Kirsten started that though. Didn't she start with the questions? They probably should have used that date to relax. Use that date to relax, to woo-saw, and then maybe it would have led to more natural conversation. There's nothing worse than somebody that's asking you question after question after question. You can learn more about somebody through a natural conversation. Being around no conversation, Kirsten, is draining. Shaq wants to be around people that like him. Yeah, but you signed up to be married. So go home and be with that woman that don't like you. That's what you signed off to do. That's what you signed up to do. Kirsten comes off as asexual to me. The whole Big D comment was overcompensating. I feel like every season we hear a woman say that though. Wasn't that last season? Alexis said that too. I feel, or no, Stasha said that too. Every season, a woman says that. Shaq looked like he'd rather be watching grass grow when they were sitting on the bed. He's over it, and Kirsten is picking up on his energy. I think it's bothering her ego now that he's lost interest. I'm telling y'all, she likes him now, and he don't like her back. He don't like her back. He stopped liking her the moment that they were on the honeymoon, and she could not tell him what she actually liked about him. That was the moment that he stopped liking her. The fact that Shaq kept badgering about the plan and wanting it to go back to the fact that Shaq kept badgering about the plan and wanting it his way is going to backfire and make her ultimately not want to open up to him because he's showing his patience is thin and will run thin. Yeah, I mean, I didn't understand who was the plan for? Was it for her? Was it for him? Like, what was what was going on with the plan? But I would have left. I would have left that nursery so fast. If we're not gonna get what I want, then you didn't need me to come. Did you notice that Shaq kept talking about how he felt different this episode? I thought he was going to come out as bisexual during their spa date. I mean, you can only tell somebody that you're battling your insecurities and you're battling your inner demons so much before people start to wonder what those inner demons are. That is the second or third time that we have seen that Shaquille has mentioned something in some way that he is battling some inner turmoil. On top of the fact that his grandmother at his wedding said she never thought she would see that day and that he surprised her. He's doing something. He's coming out as something. I don't know. I think he needs to find out who he is before you go and get married to somebody, though, unless you're trying to prove to yourself that you are hetero. I don't know. She claims that she's not a good kisser as a reason not to kiss her husband. I'm not feeling the answer. That's why I think she's never kissed or had sex before. Listen, nobody says they're not a good kisser. Nope, I have never heard somebody say I'm not a good kisser, right? She just don't want to kiss him. And it would be better for you to just say, I don't want to kiss you. But I think or just say you don't like to kiss, because there are people that don't like to kiss. But don't say I'm not a good kisser, because that sounds stupid. It sounds stupid. And that's why was that her group of friends that was like, let him make the determination if you're a bad kisser or not. Do you think Kirsten is starting to wonder about Shaq and his inner turmoil and is off put by that? I think she noticed that the first day because we all did. So maybe that could be it. I think it's really his bald head. From the moment she turned the corner, because Shaq is not bad looking. He's not an ugly guy. He's not bad looking at all. But from the moment she turned that corner to walk down the aisle and she saw he was bald, she had an issue with it from that moment. Do you think Shaq is trying to make Kirsten look good as a wife? Remember, he said she acts differently off camera. I think so. I think he's just over trying to make it work. He doesn't want to make fetch happen anymore. You know what I mean? You're only going to try so many times with somebody that doesn't like you. And if she's really a different way off camera, why should we sit and play and pretend on camera? Unless they both have an agreement, we're going to try to get this check and be done with it. I don't know. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Anything else? I feel like that's all I had to say. Anything else about Housewives of Potomac for those of you that join later? I'm sick of that too. Sick of all the reality shows. Everything is trash now. Every single reality show is trash at this point. None of them are good anymore. The ones that are left. None of the ones that are left are good anymore. Otherwise, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Thumbs up the video. If Kirsten is going to make excuses, at least make them believable. Shaq is over it. The ball is in Kirsten's court now. Just divorce. I want everybody to just divorce and get over it. Just divorce and get over it. I might go back and catch up on Ready to Love. I'm going to watch Bel Air now, but I might go back and catch up on Ready to Love. I didn't care for these people though. They were in the comments on my first video too. I don't like when the cast is in the comments. It's weird. Ready to Love is over with back-to-back seasons in sleazy Miami. Yeah, I didn't like that it was back-to-back in Miami either. The first one in Miami was okay, but this one, there's literally nobody on this cast that I liked. I wish they would do more seasons of Arranged. I don't know what that is. I don't know what Arranged is. I wish Love is Blind had more seasons back to back, and I wish The Ultimatum had more seasons back to back. But other than that, there's just no reality TV as a whole just isn't good anymore. It's run its course. Love and Hip Hop has run its course. Basketball Wives has been run its course. Growing Up Hip Hop is stupid now. What else comes on? Housewives of Potomac, the fans have ruined the show. Love and Marriage Huntsville, the fans have ruined the show. Love and Marriage DC, nobody likes that. Nobody watches that. Nobody watches that. They have Ready to Love people on that show. Nobody liked Clifton and Joy that much. Black Ink Crew, Lord knows that's been done. That should be over. That shouldn't come back. We got to find something else to get away from reality TV. Been tired of Atlanta because half the women are not even in relationships. Well, y'all know that's never going to happen. Just like on Basketball Wives, nobody was a wife but Jackie Christie. That is never going to be real housewives on there. None of them are housewives in Potomac either. Candace is the breadwinner in that family. The only true housewife on Potomac is Karen. Wendy's not a housewife. Wendy works. I'm not watching nothing called Sister Wives. That sounds stupid. Nope. I'd rather see more family reality shows. Like T.I. and Tiny's Family Hustle was good. Give Candy a show with her, Todd, and the youngest kids. Give them a show. Give Monica a show. Give LaToya Luckett a show, because we never got to find out what was going on with her relationship because T.I. and Tiny got their show canceled. Cancel Growing Up Hip Hop. Give the Simmons kids a reality show, because that's all we care about over there anyways. You're better off doing reality, like family-themed reality shows. Unless they're going to bring back Braxton Family Values. No other reality show is good, though. Housewives is getting played out, too. All of them. Because this next season of Atlanta is just going to... Oh, it can't talk about Drew. Because that's the end of the season. It's just... They're just not good. Am I going to continue with just full-length videos for MAFS or do the breakdowns? Because I do notice there's not a lot going on with the couples. Always love your reviews. I switched over to one video because I go in the office on Thursdays now. When I was doing the 5 videos, I was working from home on Thursday. So it wasn't a big deal to stay up till 11:30, 12, editing and uploading. But when I have to get up at 5:30 so I can be at work by 7 on Thursday, I'm not doing that. So the one video is doing better. The views in general, I just don't think people are watching Married at First Sight anymore. They cut the season down to shorter episodes, but it's just not good. This season just doesn't have a good cast. So I'm gonna just stick with the one episode or the one video, I should say, for now. Just the one, y'all. But I'm gonna go. Thanks for hanging out. Don't forget to subscribe, thumbs up the video, hop in the comment section. Check out, I did a recap for SWV and Escape Show. Y'all can go over and check that one out. Check out the show. That has potential. Shows like that, I think, are going to still be good for reality TV. Otherwise, I will catch you guys in the next one.